Yo, what is going on, guys? JRed52 here, and today is the first round review slash second round preview for the 2020 NCAA tournament on NCAA Basketball 10. Now, the next game that we have up in store and the first matchup for the second round is number 2 seed San Diego State versus 7 seed Arizona. That's the very first matchup. I don't know what the second matchup is going to be yet, because if I decide to check any other matches that are next, it's just going to simulate, and I don't want to do that yet. So the next games that are going to be happening are going to be a surprise for y'all, but I can still go over who is going to be playing in each region for the second round. So obviously the first matchup that we have is number 2 seed San Diego State versus 7 seed Arizona, as San Diego State had to beat UC Irvine and Arizona had to beat Texas Tech. The next matchup is number 3 seed Seton Hall versus 6 seed BYU. BYU had to beat Indiana, and Seton Hall had to beat Eastern Washington in the first round. The next matchup is number 5 seed Michigan versus 13 seed New Mexico State. Michigan nearly edged out Yale. I thought Yale had that game in the bag, and then New Mexico State beat Oregon. Oregon came back on them. That was actually a really good game. If you guys have not seen it yet, be sure to go check it out. The playlist is in my playlist subsection on my YouTube channel. That game was awesome. Go check it out if you haven't already. And then the final matchup in the West Region in the second round is number 9 seed Oklahoma versus 16 seed Prairie View A&M. Never thought I would see 4 16 seeds moving on to the next round, especially Prairie View A&M. They hit a full court shot. That shot still amazes me as well. I can't believe both of those teams are even in the second round. That's just beyond me, honestly. Moving on to the West region, we have number 2 seed UK versus 7 seed Providence. I mean, no bias here, but I hope my Kentucky Wildcats move on to the Sweet 16. And we have Duke versus East Tennessee State. The last game that we saw in the first round was East Tennessee State beating Iowa, and then Duke coming back on Belmont. That was an exciting game as well. So I think this game right here is going to be very interesting for sure. The next game in the Midwest region is number 5 seed Auburn versus 13th seed North Texas. I can't believe Auburn destroyed Liberty like that. That was not even a close game, to tell you the truth. And then North Texas just beating Wisconsin. That was very shocking as well. Number 8 seed Houston will be facing 16 seed Siena. Siena, I still can't believe they beat Kansas, the number 1 overall team in the tournament. I am still shocked by that. I can't believe that even happened. I mean, I still get chills just watching how that game turned out. It was crazy. That should be a very interesting game, Houston and Siena. I expect Houston to blow out Siena, but honestly, you never know. In the East region, we have number 2 seed Florida State versus 7 seed West Virginia. Florida State had to beat Northern Arizona. It was supposed to be Northern Kentucky, but like I said, Northern Kentucky wasn't in the game at the time, and I didn't think to put University of Illinois Chicago as a replacement, because I just thought it didn't really make a difference, and honestly it didn't, because Florida State won. And then West Virginia had to beat, I think, who was that? Utah State, duh. That's right. I forget these things. And the next matchup in the East region is number 6 seed Penn State versus 14 seed Ostrava. I still can't believe Ostrava beat Villanova. That was very shocking as well. Penn State beating UCLA, I mean, that was kind of no shocker as well. Then it's number 4 seed. Oh crap, Maryland. Yeah, Maryland. Why do I keep forgetting these teams' initials? Man, I'm such an idiot sometimes. Versus 12 seed Richmond. Richmond had to beat, I think, oh yeah, Butler. Duh, that's it. Butler almost came back on them. They were coming back slowly but surely, but Richmond in the end ended up winning. And then Maryland beat Akron. Honestly, it just wasn't even close. Akron didn't even stand a chance, honestly. And then it is number 9 seed Florida versus 16 seed Boston University. honestly, on this side, it looks like Maryland might be the favorite, but you never know. I mean, Boston University beat Dayton, which I didn't expect, and then Florida beat Colorado, which I also didn't expect. I mean, Richmond beat Butler. So, honestly, this tournament is just wide open. And then finally, we go into the South region, and then this region just looks absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Number 10 seed USC versus 15 seed Arkansas Little Rock. The only 15 seed to move on. Funny how that works, huh? Only one 15 seed, but all 4 16 seeds move on. Honestly, just crazy. That should be a very interesting game. Virginia is looking like the favorite to go to the Sweet 16 out of these 4 teams in this bottom half of the South region, which honestly wouldn't shock me, honestly, because Virginia is a really hot team at the moment. Then we have number 5 seed Ohio State versus 13 seed Vermont. I didn't expect Louisville to go down to Vermont, and I expect Stephen F. Austin to beat Ohio State, but Ohio State came back on them, and that late steal for a dunk was the game changer right there. And then the final matchup in the South region is number 9 seed Rutgers versus 16 seed Winthrop. Honestly, out of all these teams, Ohio State looks like the favorite to go to the Sweet 16 as well. But we'll honestly see what happens, because this second round is about to be crazy, and obviously the Final Four will be determined soon once we get there. And of course, it's also in Indianapolis, because that was around the time of 2010 when they held it at Lucas Oil Stadium. So that is the second round preview right there. Let's go right into the tournament stats. I'm not going to go through all of them, all the stats. I'm just going to go through like just a few, just so you get an idea of who the top scorers are, top rebounders, and all that. So let's get right into these tournament stat leaders. Alright, so the first thing you are probably thinking, J-Red, why is this guy averaging 28 points so far in the tournament? He didn't score that much in your simulation. Well, turns out I forgot to save the game before I turned my PS3 off, or let the PS3 run, and then it just automatically turned off. I was upset at myself for that. I beat myself up for that because I should have known better. So what I ended up doing was I simulated the matches again. I only had to do it one time because I wanted to make sure the results are the same, so that way everything stays the same and that everything is in unison. And if y'all saw the Houston game, Houston did win their matchup when I posted on my YouTube channel. So honestly, that doesn't really matter. As long as everything is still correct, then that's all that matters. But getting into the points, this Aubrey Coleman, man, jeez, 28 points. Tyrone Kane with 21. Kelvin Lewis, jeez, 19. Billy White from San Diego State with 18. And then a bunch of UC Irvine guys have a bunch of points, but that's also because that game had to be simulated as well. This game was not simulated, by the way. This was played out, and it's still the same. This Mike Rosario guy, he was just lights out. And then John Dewar, that was the guy that hit the clutch dunk, got the clutch steal, ended up with 14 that game. Let's see if I can find any guys I'm familiar with. There's Kawhi Leonard. He has 13 points. And then John Wall, if you guys saw that game, he finished with 13. And then we have a bunch of guys with just 12. So, honestly, no shocker there. The leading guy on rebounds is Zach Atkinson with 13. And then a bunch of Marquette guys. Honestly, no shocker there. So, those are the rebounding leaders. The assist leaders, I'm just going to go through them. If you guys want to pause and look at each stat, you are more than welcome to. And look at that, Gordon Hayward is up there with 3 assists. How about that? Going to the steals. Like I said, if you guys want to go back and pause at any time just to see, you're more than welcome to. I'm just skimming through so that way you guys get an idea. Block leaders, look at that guy, 4 blocks for Baylor, and he still couldn't do anything as they went down to Winthrop, which honestly was shocking. There's Quincy Acey right there. Throwback to anybody that remembers him. Going into field goals, Stephen Gray, that guy was lights out in that game, and they still could not beat, I think who? Prairie View A&M. They still couldn't beat Prairie View A&M. Chris Jones, lights out. Man, a lot of guys shooting 100% actually. That's pretty crazy. And look at that, DeMarcus Cousins. He's 4 or 5. That's pretty cool. Going into the three-pointers, Desmond Wade, the highest so far in the tournament at 80%. Let's see if I can... Oh, there's Mike Rosario, 66%. Oh, there's that guy that was shooting lights out for Yale, the guy that I said I wanted to get signed to Detroit, Alexander Pierre. Let's see if I recognize anybody else. Hey, Jimmy Butler's up there. How about that? And that's about it looks like. I'm surprised I don't see Sharon Collins up there, but I guess you need to have a minimum amount of threes attempted or something like that. Going into free throws, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys shooting 100%. Yeah, everybody is tied right now. So, and look at that, Grievous Vasquez. How about that? I didn't think I'd recognize him until that game played out. Is it? Oh no, that's a different Curry. I thought that was Seth Curry at first. So those are the tournament leaders. So the next game that we have up in store for the beginning of the second round, like I said, is San Diego State versus Arizona. All the teams in the tournament now have their names from 2009, 2010 all matched up to them. Now, keep in mind, I wish I could do like current day rosters so that way it makes it more accurate and more interesting. But honestly, due to certain circumstances like me being in college and all that, it would just take way too much time. And honestly, time is not in my hands. It's definitely not in my favor right now. So I wish I could have gone in and did the rosters and even found a roster update somewhere on the internet. I looked and I couldn't find one. So unfortunately, I had to do what was best, and that was just to match the names to those back on the 2009-2010 rosters. So it's the best I could do, and it's still a hypothetical situation because the tournament is canceled. So this is all just for fun, just to see how it plays out. Because in real life, not all the number 1 seeds would have gone down. There's no way, because this is just for fun. So just wanted to let you guys know before we move on to the second round that I wish I could have gone current day rosters, and I wish I could have edited them in, but due to certain circumstances, it just could not be done, and plus time is not on my hands either. So I'm sorry for that. I'm just gonna have to do with what I have. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little tournament update. We're gonna get right into the second round soon. It should be very exciting. Going to be a very interesting rest of the tournament. So until the next game, guys, have an awesome day. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notifications bell as well. So until next time, guys, I will see you all later.